This is my favorite part of the podcast called Seeking the Socials, where our producer, Aidan Hewitt, dissects the socials and asks myself and Kamal a topic, I guess, and we unpack that. Off to you, Aidan.
Sean and Kamo, welcome back to Seeking the Socials. For all the listeners out there who do not know what Seeking the Socials is, it is a segment where I personally scour social media and I look for the most interesting and topical, sometimes even controversial opinions relating to football, which I've come across over the last week. Some weeks I inform the lads of a topic, and other times I get the gents to pick a topic by choosing a social media in a lucky packet scenario. However, this week, I'm taking control and I will be informing you guys of a question which has kind of tweaked my brain and it's gotten me to think fairly hard, something I don't really do too often. So if you guys are ready, I'm happy to go straight into it.
Sir.
Yeah, please.
So the question, statement, however you want to call it, a statement with a question mark. Why don't goalkeepers ever get substituted like other positions? For example, if you have two right backs, you can always bring the second one on in the 80th minute or whatever. You can even start them both on either side, but why not give your second choice goalie a run in? Sean, I'd like to start with you on this one, given your history. What do you make of this? Like, surely giving players, regardless of their position, a run in, giving them minutes helps build up form and confidence?
You know, Aidan, it's a good question. But in my opinion, I think the main answer is quite obvious in terms that I think there's one position you can't really play around with in each team, and that's the goalkeeper, because purely of their relationship with the back four. And you've seen it with De Gea and, Buffon, and, if you're going to interchange that and you've got a goalkeeper that believes slightly something different in terms of how a wall is set up, or how the corners should be set up, how you speak to this player, how you speak to that player, we can have a massive, profound difference on the back four. So when you say the back four, it should always be the back five. When you say the back five, it should be the back six. And that's why, in my opinion, you don't see too many changes if things are going well. You don't want to mess with, we talk about the spine of the team, the goalkeeper, the two center backs, midfield striker. You try not to stuff with that too much. Wing backs, other defenders, midfielders, strikers, wingers, yes, we can play around with that, but the spine of the team should not be messed with too much, especially the goalkeeper. I think the relationship that is formed between the keeper and the two centre halves specifically is so important to how the team performs.
Kamo, just before we hear your thoughts, Sean, just a second question onto that. You say the starting goalkeeper, first choice, whatever, has a specific relationship with his back four, and that might differ from the relationship the second choice keeper has with the starting back four. Surely then that brings up a question of chemistry and the integrity of the team. Like, don't you want your whole team having the exact same mindset, the exact same process and whatnot? Or would you think, like, for example, keeper A might prefer a couple people on the post, whereas keeper B doesn't want that for a corner, for example?
Yeah, Eddie, you can fundamentally see, if I think next time it actually happens, right? Maybe the next cup game, when you see a second choice goalkeeper coming in, you can fundamentally see the difference in the team. Just in terms of how it's aligned, and as an ex-player, you can see how different communication is. Maybe there's more communication needed from the second choice goalkeeper to the defenders. But you get to understand one another very, very well. For example, if there's, there might be a left-footed goalkeeper to a right-footed goalkeeper. All of a sudden, the central defender thinks, okay, cool, well, it's whoever in the back, I'm going to pass to his left, but now he's forgotten, it's the right-footer. So it's those little things, and they make a massive difference. And it's those little things, as we've seen with Onana's lapse of concentration now for 2 seconds, what can happen in a big game. But yeah, it's. I don't think it'll ever change. I do think the keepers are given a little bit of leeway in the cup games. We've seen that with City. We've seen it with the bigger teams as well. Ederson won't feature really in the cup games at all unless it's Champions League. But and look, there's still pressure to perform. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't happen, and purely for the fact that it's all about confidence. It's all about rhythm, and it starts with the goalkeeper.
Okay. No, that's fair. Very well broken down. Kamo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I think Sean broke it down so eloquently. So like, yeah, I think football is such a, it's decided by such minute things. You know what I mean? And like to mess around with something as, I don't say fragile, but a back four defense is something that you predicate on stability. On familiarity, on the things that and to play around with that, to be quote unquote try to be a bit clever with it. Like it's not good. It's not good for everybody involved, because like you want that probably going forward as opposed to your backline. So I think it's cool like that. Keepers stay the same. Mikel Arteta, he was alluding to the fact that he was open to changing keepers and stuff, but now we have an idea that Raya is actually going to be the number one, and he wants it like that, and you can already see the differences in that sense, and that's okay too. Like I don't think there should be a need to feel like you change the keeper, because like I said, defense is a part of the team where you want stability, where you want familiarity. It could be something as little as like you said, do I drop? Do I go forward?
Yeah.
Do I open up for the keeper? Do I not open up for the keeper? Do I stay in the box? Does he want in the box? You know what I mean? Little things like that. So and that essentially it flows throughout the team, and then if I think if everybody else feels uncomfortable with what's going on at the back, then it kind of festers throughout the team. And I think it's okay, like if you have one keeper for the cups and one keeper for the league and the Champions League, like totally fine with that, because you don't want any mistakes at all.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, very educational, very, very well said. I love the show. That was great. You've changed my opinion on this. Have a lovely day, and we'll chat soon. Thank you for your time.